Hello guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Hypercraft. Today we're going to be working on infinite villager spawner. I've been doing some work with a bit of trial and a lot of error. I have decided that this is going to be the place where our villager spawner is going to be, and directly above us is the little plateau that sits at the kind of the foot of the castle up above, and that is going to be where our villager trading area is going to be. So I've been digging out this area. Originally I was going to put it over there, but I changed my mind because that's kind of below nothing. And I've also dug a very long tunnel all the way down from a village I found quite close to the base. Yeah, this tunnel comes all the way down, and it was measured out. I measured it out so that I could dump one bucket of water at the top, and it would go all the way down here and around the corner. At the moment it goes around the corner because I came down too low. And it comes to these stairs, so when I start bringing villagers down, the first one is going to come along here, and I'm going to push him up here, and I'm going to make a little cell for him, and this is the door level. Let's put the doors in now actually. So the first villager is going to sit, that's too shallow. The first villager will sit up here, and that's our seed villager, as it were. The villager that the other villagers are going to try and breed with. Put that there. So we'll make he can sit. Let's see if we do that. And this, and then he can sit in this area here, and we'll block him off, and then we shall redivert the water for the rest of the guys. If I can manage to get out, there we go. Which kind of means the villagers can as well, so let's do that. And then we'll knock out this block and wash the rest of the villagers down here. And we're going to put water in all four corners of this area here to keep the villagers in the middle. And that's kind of like how we're going to measure how many villagers we've got. It's kind of similar to what we had in the single player world. So they're going to bob around down here, bloop, 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 and they're going to be looking for, might put glass in all of those, shouldn't affect the doors at all. Yeah, there we go. They're going to bob around in there and try and breed with the villager in that cell up there. And because they can't, they'll breed with each other, and they'll keep making babies far more than the ratio of doors to villagers would allow them normally. And then what we're going to do, I'm just thinking this might not be big enough to hold a good population of villagers before they start. Well, we're going to have a tunnel this way, so the villagers will be bobbing around, bob, 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 bob. And finally they'll get enough that their hitboxes they'll bounce off each other until they come into this area, and then they'll get washed along here. And then what we're going to do is have a tunnel going straight up, a water elevator going straight up, and that will go up to the area where the village, we're going to do our work with the villagers. So if we climb up here, and it's a long climb, so I'll just cut this slightly. Okay, so we climb up here, and we've got this little plateau here, which I have leveled off This is our well, which is, you know, giving us the light down to the bottom. This is a random hole. And I've decided that this wall here will be where we have our perfect villagers, the ones we want to keep. And I'm going to make a little garden out of this area to make it all very nice and whatnot. We'll just probably have something like this maybe. And go make this into like a thing, a real thing made of stuff. Don't particularly want to be able to fall down here, so maybe, I don't know, it probably might look a bit oh. And that way we'll need to keep the middle open. It's a bit bulky, but yeah, maybe actually, I haven't got cobble on me, but yeah, make this make it an objet d'art, and then put some trees around here. There's not much room after that actually, but I do need to keep this open. We'll have booths for our perfect villagers, which will probably be sort of 2 deep like this, and then we'll block them off with like a stair or something and have them drop in from above, like that. And then inside this hill here, if I can find, it's just we shall have an area. Actually, I should have done that in line with this, because this is where our tunnel is. This one here. We'll have an area where we will set up our villager selection booths, pretty much like we did in the last, in the single player world. Yeah, leave plenty of space for that, because I don't know how much space I'm going to need to hook up those booths on the front. So eventually, yeah, we'll go into the mountain to work with selecting good villagers and getting rid of bad villagers, and we will eventually have just nice villagers that we want to trade with along here. I might have to build that out a bit, give us a bit more room. That we want to do trades with along here, so, you know, tool guy, armor guy, emerald guy, what have you. And that will all be a thing. But first, that we need to get our villager breeder set up. And for the moment, breeding up and killing off the excess villagers, just so we can get the whole ball rolling. So I'm going to clear out an area here, and come back to you. Okay, clearing out this area, and we've come to a decision point. Not a decision itself, but a point where a decision needs to be made. We've hit this side of the cliff. Now the question is, do we pull ourselves back and kind of make the room a bit smaller on this side, or do we make like a little thing out of it? Now, in my modern house on the Hypermine Feed the Beast server, we had I had a little window out of the side of the hill that my house was on, and I really liked that. I thought it was really nice, like a really nice kind of feature to have a little bit of the building poking out there. So I think I might do something like that. Basically, let's see if we can figure something out. We can maybe do this. Come along here, and then let's see. We can pull. Let's put this wall back a little bit, and then we can, let's see, come no, come along like that. Maybe get rid of that, and put a couple of these kind of things in here. And here, and then yeah, not enough room there, but we can just do a little window like that, and then do that. Can't really, but then maybe we'll end up having half slabs here. That was perhaps too many, but when we do that, then we have a nice little kind of 40 type affair. Someone chills on. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. Anyway, we've got a bit of space here. I think this is probably good here. If we bring the villagers up along this line, and we can have our decision booths over here, maybe one there, so maybe one. I think we fit 1, 2, 3 decision booths maybe, or assessment booths, like this. And I think what I'm going to do, the way we're going to work this is I will have the villagers come all the way up here, and then they will either die or, be sent to their death, or otherwise sent to the decision booths up here, basically. Now, that's a long way to bring them just to kill them, but it does mean that I don't need to run masses and masses of redstone wiring. So I would dig a 3 wide tunnel, 3 wide shaft all the way back down, and then put a central column back in, and as I build it, make a water elevator coming up. So yeah, sign water, 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 sign water, water, all the way up. And then at this point, let's see. We can so we want it to activate based upon whether or not there's space in the villager pods, in the assessment pods. So we could run like a redstone line. Let's just clear a bit of space out. Redstone line into the back of a couple of pistons. No. There, and one. Thank you. There. So yeah, if you remember, the assessment pods detected the presence of a villager using tripwire, so we can basically, because it's not like a one button press to call, we're going to need to have the flow open until the pods detect a villager, basically. So we can run outputs from those tripwires into a redstone line, and if any of them are not, if any of the pod booths are empty, run redstone into here. Probably just kind of put a repeater there, which will power the block, and then a torch on the if we do that, then let's do this with a lever. Right, so imagine we've got glass up here. At this point, if we had a water source here, in fact, let's put a water source there. Right, so actually, that's fortunate. We'd need a water source there. So they're coming up a tube that's directly below here. We will have our water source there. So they'll come up over, and then on the other side of that separating wall, it will just be a straight drop all the way down. And then if we do that, it becomes a still water source, and they'll be able to swim up into another water source held up above this somehow. How would they do that? That is not going to work. They need trapdoors. That's what we need. So we put, let's see, a hole there to suck them over to the wall, and then a trapdoor there. And we need to, let's see, do we need to power that or what? No. We need to get some of this. Come on. Right, so if we power it, that opens. So we need to power. So what we do is we. Let's think. There's Al. Here we go. Here's what we do. We put that there, that there, that there, dot on there, and so close, back open, top closed, top open, back closed. Cool, right. For the moment we leave it like this until we've got our booths built. And that will basically we can get the cycle started. Right, okay, so after much blathering, I am going to dig all the way down there. In fact, I'm also going to take a quick adventure and find some ice, silk touch some ice, because it'll make the whole process a lot easier. Can't be that hard to find some. While we're doing that, I'll show you the horse stables. Very quickly. Where is my... Oh, my boat's at the bottom. I never put a coal system at the top, simply because you can drop down. Right, okay, this is what I came up with for the stables. So it's pretty much the same. We've got the tripwire here, so when you're on the horse in here, the tripwire opens the trapdoors. And down here we've got pressure plates. There is a torch on the side of the blocks next to the pressure plates, and that depowers this by default. So if you're on the pressure plates, it opens that. So we have Mighty George still, and the unnamed one. Waha! Right, okay, I'm going to quickly go and find some ice, and I will be right back. Okay, well, a lot of digging later. This is what we've got. Here's our water pool. All the water goes into the middle. Kind of messed the dimensions up a little bit. Shouldn't matter too much. So we'll have a pool of kind of villagers here. I need to get some more glass to cover this over. But they'll be there. And when there's lots and lots of them, eventually you'll get... Well, not lots and lots. I've purposefully made this quite small, so it's not going to be the fastest producing, but this is a server, and you've got to make allowances on servers. You don't want to lag the server out with 100 villagers, which is kind of what I had in the single player world, and that's not so good. So anyway, they'll bob around, eventually get pushed into this area here where they can swim. If they're an adult, they can swim up. Now, I'll say, actually, I don't think I mentioned earlier, this is based upon Tango Tech's design for Infinite Villager Spawner, but I'm going to take them along and all the way up to the top. I'm using ice. I've used ice blocks, so there's no signs or anything. It's all relying on not having any block updates. Oh, and that was a stupid thing to do at that point there because of that. But that's okay. That should now hopefully melt in a moment. Don't need a pressure plate there because it should just float there quite nicely. I guess I could put... I haven't got any wood to make a sign, but yeah, it should float there quite nicely. Anyway, they'll come along, and when this melts... Come on. There we go. So they'll come along and up into here, and they'll go all the way up here. Bob, 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 bob. Like this. And this is quite long, so we might just speedy this bit up. And yeah, so we're nearly at the top, and there's a bit of solid water all the way through there. They'll swim up, and the reason I'm bringing them all the way up is because with Tango Tech's design, he drowns them. There we go. They get to the top, and I'm going to put a source block here, and they'll either go up into whatever I build here to do the trading thing, or over there, and there's a big long drop. Hey, slip! A big long drop is about 30 blocks or so, and that will kill them instantly. Now, the reason I decided to do it that way is because with Tango Tech's design, he uses a fence gate to close. Oh, one piece of glass. Huh. Actually, thinking about it, I need something. That'll do. There we go, that'll stop the water. He uses a fence gate to block the villagers and drown them, basically. But that means when you tell it that you want villagers, so you open the fence gate, that first villager that comes through, he might have half a heart left. He might have been drowning for ages. He might have almost no health by the time he comes through. And you don't really know whether or not he's got any health. So I dislike that. I want to make sure that all the villagers that come through to the pods, booths, oh, goodness knows what I'm going to call these things, have 100% health. So yes, I am going to wait until it stops raining, and until it gets to daytime, and we're going to head over and try and get the villagers into the system before we end this episode. So I will see you in a momento. Okay. So, let's, I guess I should put a fence gate over this side. Seems it wants to dump me out over here since the boat rotated on its own. Mighty George, the unnamed one. Let's take Mighty George this time. Okay, so the village I found, which I dug the big long tunnel from, is over here. And actually I probably could have done with coming over at night, but yeah, never mind. Oh, there it is, over there. Now, someone has obviously been through here because they've protected a couple of villagers and called them Daryl and Daryl, which is funny, and also taken the stuff out of the blacksmiths. Let's get off. But I'm not going to mess with Daryl and Daryl, who are in here. That's not how you spell Daryl. Or maybe it is. It's not the way I would spell Daryl. I'd spell it with a Y instead of an E. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my axe. I'm going to grab a door. In fact, I'm going to grab a few doors. Let's just de-door a few of these houses. And I'm going to put a door in this house here, because this is where my waterway starts. So if we put that there, then we should hopefully, as you're safe, let's just leave you there, hopefully persuade 3 villagers to go in there once night comes around. And then we will race back on Mighty George. I'm going to steal these books. Ha ha ha. We're going to race back on Mighty George and beat them there so that we can make sure that we get one villager into the up the stairs into the seed position, and the others down into the bit down at the bottom. So while I'm waiting for that to happen, I'm going to cook a bit of extra glass up to be able to put the lid on the breeding cell, and yeah, I will come back to you once again. Down you go, down you go. Go down. Cool. That is number 1. Where is my horse? Where is my horse? They wander off so far. Right, so we race this guy back. And hopefully we will both beat him back and not get there so fast that we like deload him as we get further away. Give him a bit of time. It's going to take him a while to get down there. Where is the Bat Cave? Brilliant. Pop. Yeah, this is working out okay actually, this little system here. It's pretty smooth. Really good for resource light elevators. Not so good in jungles because the ocelots will knock them around, but hey ho. Right. Wee. Boom. Okay, well, I don't think... No one's down there yet, so... Well, that was silly. Yep, we just now play a bit of a waiting game, and hopefully... Oh, come on, let me out. There we go. Yep, we play a little bit of a waiting game for this guy to come down the way, and yeah, I'll come back when he's here. Okay, villager number 1 is down here now. And if he is, I actually had to get into the water stream and, shall we say, persuade him a little bit. Right, go up the stairs. Whoa! And there we go. You can bloody well stay in there. Right. Fill this in. And take that down. There we go. Right. Yeah, we should be good just to do this. And let's see. Do that. And that. And that should ensure that the next set of villagers end up in the breeder below bit. So I am going to go and get those and again come back to you. It's taken me quite a while. Right. In a moo. Okay, well, finally I had to get in and push these guys all the way down. This was, using water streams was very labour intensive. Next time I'm just going to use minecart rails, but it is done now. So let's block this off. Right, unfortunately I left the glass there, up at the village, but, oh well. Hopefully we shall be, let's block that back off up there. Hopefully we should start seeing some love hearts, and then we'll know that the breeder is actually doing the job that it should do. But this episode is long as per usual, so I am going to sit here and see if I get any love hearts while I go off and edit the episode. As always, I say as always, something I don't often actually put into words, but as I always am very grateful. So thank you for watching. And yeah, until next time, guys, take care of yourselves.